Part two. I split this in two parts because usually at about 20 to 25 minutes or so, most people's attention wanes. But this is merited, I think, slightly longer than normal discourse this morning. Um, as we look to another mom, we have Eunice. Eunice, not someone that most of us even familiar with, but Second Timothy 1 and 5 states, I am reminded of your sincere faith, which first lived in your grandmother, Lois, and your mother, Eunice, and I am persuaded now lives in you also. Eunice was a great example of unshakable faith. When Paul was preaching in Lystra, he met a young Timothy, his mother Eunice, and his grandmother Lois. A number of years later, Paul reminded Timothy that his faith dwelled first in his grandmother Lois and in his mother Eunice. This does not mean that faith is inherited, because by all means, we all know that children don't become carbon copies of their parents. But it does show that there is definitely an advantage to having a heritage of Christ in your family. We attribute being a mom with giving children warm meals, a place to lay their head, and clothes to wear, but spiritual nurture is many a time wrongfully neglected. Providing for the spiritual needs of a child is part of the role as much as providing for their physical. Eunice taught Timothy the Holy Scriptures. He had known the Scriptures from childhood, and Paul says it was this that made him wise to the good news of the coming death and resurrection of Jesus. Though a child may forget many of the mother's words, impressions will be left that time can never erase. A young girl lay in bed with what proved to be a fatal illness. Her parents made sure she got the best of everything, though, before this happened. She went to the best schools. She learned to play the piano and dance superbly. She learned proper etiquette. She was an upstanding child, upstanding young lady. She grew to be class president, captain of the sports teams, straight A student with great quality friendships. She was the apple of her parents' eye, admired by her peers, praised by her teachers and coaches. She appeared to have it all. Because of her sudden ailment, the doctors were called, and after examining the sick girl, the doctor whispered to her mother. The girl sensed that something was wrong and sensed what he told her, and it was not good news. She said, "Mother, you've taught me how to dance, how to dress well, how to conduct myself in the world. But one thing you didn't teach me is how to die." A good mother will teach a child how to die. And I don't mean this to sound as glum and somber as it sounds, but now this does not have to be a teaching by example, though, okay? It doesn't mean that mom has to die to teach her how to die, but it's a short way of me saying that mothers talk with their children about God's plan of salvation. They read to them, pray with them, worship with them, fellowship with them, teaching them and showing them of the good news. A Christ-like mom is the prettiest flower that blossoms in the garden of happiness. If your mother is still living, visit her. FaceTime her, call her often. Be kind to her while she is with you. The day will come when her eyesight, mobility, and hearing will become less keen, and her heart will cease. If your mother is gone, remember the advice she gave and the lessons she taught, the hugs she nurtured with, the time she spent. Again, of all the earthly things God gives, there's one above all others. It is the precious, priceless gift of loving Christ-like mothers. Take time today, every day, to honor your mom. Honor your mom. That means make her look good. Simply be a good person. Let her know that you appreciate what you've done, what she's done for you. Listen to her stories. You might learn something. Tell her your stories. Contrary to fathers, she will be thrilled to know what's going on with you. I say that in jest. Be excited about her life. Honor your mother. To older moms, what else does that possibly mean? It means strengthen your marriage. No matter how things worked out for your parents, they want to see you likely in a happy adulthood. Part of that might be likely in a marriage that is fruitful, that works. It's been said, stay together for the kids, but how about make this marriage strong because it will honor your parents? And I think most of all, and I say this partially in jest, but there's some truth to this, love their grandchildren. We all know that a mom and a dad's real desire is to see their grandchildren happy. In short, tell your mom thank you.